Hey students, welcome back to Lakshya Education Online. Chapter number 14, Statistics Standard 10. This is the 8th episode. In the earlier episodes, we have studied about how to find mean, median and mode. We have also understood how to get missing frequencies when mean, median or mode are given. Now in this episode, we are going to understand a new thing, that is the graphical representation of cumulative frequency distribution. Now what is this graphical representation? In 9th standard you have studied about explaining the given data into graphical form. You have understood the data to be explained in the form of graph, of bar graph, histogram and frequency polygon. In 10th standard, we will understand how to show the graph of cumulative frequency curve. Now what is this cumulative frequency curve? The given data can be converted into two different forms. One is less than type of cumulative frequency distribution and second is more than type of frequency distribution. Now we will understand how to convert them into these two types of cumulative frequency distribution. And what is the graphical representation of these two terms? The cumulative frequency curve is also called OGIVE. The spelling is OGIVE. Some people call it OGIVE. Now let us understand what is the form of this OGIVE curve. When we have converted the given frequency distribution in the form of less than type of distribution, we can get a curve like this. This is a less than type of OGIVE curve. Remember one thing, in case of less than type of OGIVE curve, on x-axis we have to show the upper limits and on the y-axis we have to show the cumulative frequency and we have to plot the points which we have obtained in the graph. So after plotting the point, we can get the graph of this way which is going upward. This is called less than type of OGIVE. Now the other is more than type OGIVE. Here it is. In case of more than type OGIVE, we have to show lower limits on the x-axis and cumulative frequency on y-axis. And the more than type of OGIVE will go downwards like this. So keep this in your mind. These are the shapes of OGIVE curves. The first one is less than type and the second one is more than type. Remember that less than upper limit and more than lower limit. So on x-axis, which limit you have to show, that you have to keep in your mind. Now let us understand how to form the tabular form of less than type and more than type of frequency distribution curve. For that we will go to exercise 14.4. We will check question number 1. Let's see. So here is the question. The question is from exercise 14.4. Question number 1 in your textbook, page number 293. The question is, the following distribution gives the daily income of 50 workers in a factory. The data is given here. Daily income in rupees 100 to 120, number of workers is 12. Rupees 120 to 140, number of workers is 14. Rupees 140 to 160, 8 workers. Rupees 160 to 180, 6 workers. And 180 to 200, there are 10 workers. Now we have to convert this distribution into less than type of cumulative frequency distribution and we have to draw the OGIVE. Let us first of all convert it into less than type of frequency distribution. To get the less than type of cumulative frequency distribution, we have to form two columns. Number one is daily income in rupees and the second is number of workers. In daily income, as we have to form less than type cumulative frequency distribution, always remember less than upper limit. So we have to write the upper limits of individual classes. Now in class 1, the class is 100 to 120. Here upper limit is 120. So we will write less than 120. This is the upper limit of class 1. Then the second will be less than upper limit of class 2. It is 140. Then we will write less than 160. This is the upper limit of class 3. Then less than 180 and finally less than 200, which is the upper limit of class last. Now we have to get number of workers. Check the question. Here number of workers for the class 100 to 120 is 12. It means less than 120 there are 12 workers. So we will write for less than 120 number of workers is 12. Now for less than 140. Less than 140, here we have 100 to 120 there are 12 workers, and 120 to 140 rupees daily income there are 14 workers. So less than 140 there are 12 plus 14. So we will get 12 plus 14, 26 workers. So less than 140 the number of workers is 26. Then less than 160 the number of workers will be 12 plus 14 plus 8. So we will have to add all of these, that is 26 plus 8. So we will get 26 plus 8 equals to 34. So remember that in case of less than type of frequency distribution, the number of workers, that will be the cumulative frequency, which we have understood in the earlier topics. Then less than 180, 12 plus 14 plus 8 plus 6, that is 34 plus 6. So 34 plus 6 will be 40. And finally less than 200, sum of all these, that is 40 plus 10, it will be 50. We know that the given frequency distribution is for 50 workers. So finally we have got CF equals to 50. So this is the way we can convert the given continuous frequency distribution into a less than type of cumulative frequency distribution. If in your exam the question is that you have to convert the given distribution into less than type of frequency distribution, then you have to do up to here only. But in this question, the question is that we have to get less than type cumulative frequency distribution, as well as we have to draw the OGIVE. Now let us see how to draw the OGIVE from this obtained data. As I explained you earlier that the less than type of OGIVE will be formed this way. The graph will be going upwards, and on the x-axis we have to take upper boundary or upper limits, and on the y-axis we have to take cumulative frequency. Let us draw the OGIVE from this data what we have obtained. To make the OGIVE, I have drawn here the plane having x-axis and y-axis. In your graph paper you can draw this kind of graph lines. As we have to draw less than type of cumulative frequency curve, so on x-axis we have to take upper limits, and on y-axis we have to take cumulative frequency. Let us check what are the limits. Here the upper limit starts from 120 and it is up to 200. So we have to start from 120 on x-axis. We know that the intersection of x-axis and y-axis is 0. Now we have to start from 120, and the difference between two consecutive terms is 20. So we have to take 1 unit equals to 20. Let us start with 100. If this is 100, then every 1 unit will be equal to 20. So the next will be 120, then 140, 160, 180, and finally 200. So these are the upper limits of the given data. As this starts with 100 and the difference between consecutive terms is 20, we will make here a zigzag line. You know that what the meaning of this zigzag is, that you have understood in 9th standard. Now we have to write cumulative frequencies on y-axis. You can see here the cumulative frequencies are 12, 26, 34, 40 and 50. So we have to get the scale such that we get all these terms up to 50. I have taken here 1 unit or 1 centimeter equals to 5 units. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 and 50. You can also take 1 unit equals to 10. I have taken it here 1 centimeter equals to 5 units. Now we have to plot the numbers according to the obtained numbers. The first number will be 120 on x-axis and 12 on y-axis. So the first number will be 120, 12. On x-axis 120, on y-axis I have to get 12. Here I don't have the graph page, so I will take the numbers approximately. This is 10, then 11 and 12. Therefore, on 120 graph line, I will get the number at this level, and on 12, I will get it approximately here. While using the graph page, it will be easy for you to plot. So this is the number 120 and 12. Now the second number is 140 and the cumulative frequency is 26. For 140 level, I'll get it parallel to this, and the cumulative frequency is 26, so it is 1 more than 25, that is 26. So I'll get that point here. So this point is 140 and 26. Now the next is less than 160 and cumulative frequency is 34. So for 160 level, I have to get 34, so it is 1 less than 35. So I'll get that point here. This is the point 160 and 34. Then I have to get the next is 180 and 40. For 180, I'll get the line like this, and then the 40 will be here. So this number is obtained here. This is 180 and 40. And finally I want less than 200, which is 50 at cumulative frequency. So at cumulative frequency 50 and here it is 200. So this is the number 200 and at cumulative frequency it is 50. So these are the numbers which I have obtained on graph page. Now I have to connect all these dots through a curve. So if I connect them, I'll get a curve like this. Remember one thing, while showing this curve you have not to use your scale. You have to draw the curve line without using the scale. So this is your less than type of cumulative curve, or we can say this is less than type OGIVE. So this is the way how we get the less than type of OGIVE. Now let us understand how to form more than type of cumulative frequency distribution. In the same question, question number 1, though in your textbook it is not given in question number 1, but still we are taking the same question for more than type of cumulative frequency distribution, so that you can understand both the type of cumulative frequency distribution in the same question. If we want to convert it into more than type, then first thing we need to do, for more than type, it is more than lower limit. Remember one thing, more than lower, less than upper. So we have to get the first column as more than lower limit. Now first of all, in class 1, the lower limit is 100. So we will write more than the lower limit 100. Then for second, lower limit is 120. Here we can see for class 2's lower limit is 120, so more than 120. For class 3 we will get more than, its lower limit is 140, so more than 140. Then next class, lower limit is 160, so more than, it is 160. And finally more than, it will be 180, as the lower limit of last class is 180. Now we have to get number of workers. Now you have to be very much careful here. More than 100. How many workers have daily income more than 100 rupees? So here 100 to 120, 120 to 140, up to 180 to 200. All the workers have daily income more than 100 rupees. So for more than 100 rupees, there will be total number of workers. Here total number of workers is 50. So for more than 100, we will write 50. Now for class 2, more than 120. What will be the number of workers having income more than 120 rupees? So more than 120, these many workers, 100 to 120 rupees workers, will be excluded. So we have to subtract this number out of 50. So 50 minus 12. You have to be very much careful. In case of less than, you have to keep on adding, whereas in case of more than, you have to keep on subtracting. So 50 minus 12, it will be 38 for more than 120. Then for more than 140, you have to subtract class 2 frequency, that is 14. So we will do 38 minus 14, that will be 24. This is for more than 140 rupees. You can also count it from here, more than 140. So all these are more than 140. 8 plus 6, 14 plus 10, 24, you get 24. Then for more than 160, you can add 6 plus 10, that will be 16, or you can subtract 8 from this 24. So 24 minus 8 will be 16. This is more than 160. And finally, more than 180, there are 10 workers, or we can say 16 minus 6, that is 10. So 16 minus 6 will be 10. This is the number of workers having daily income more than 180 rupees. So this is the way we can get the tabular form of more than type of cumulative frequency distribution. Now we have to show this into a graphical form. As we earlier discussed that in case of more than type of OGIVE, the graph curve will be like this. On x-axis we have to show lower limit, on y-axis we have to show cumulative frequency. Now let's see how to show in this question. So here is our graph. On x-axis we have to take lower limits, on y-axis we have to take cumulative frequency. The scale will be same as we have taken earlier in case of less than type. See here, on x-axis lower limit starts from 100, then onwards 120, 140, 160, 180. Then cumulative frequency from 0 onwards, 1 centimeter equals to 5 units and up to 50. Now we will plot the numbers according to the numbers we have obtained. More than 100, cumulative frequency is 50. So for more than 100, we get 50. So that number will be here. This is the number 150. Then second is more than 120, the cumulative frequency is 38. So for 120, it is 38, which is approximately 2 less than 40. So that point will be obtained here. This is 120 and 38. Then the next is more than 140, it is 24. So for more than 120, we get 24. The number will be here. Then more than 160, it is 16. So 16 for more than 160. Then for more than 180, it is 10. So it is here at this point. So this is the way we get the points on graph page. Now we have to connect these dots through a curve. Once again, I would say you have not to use the scale and you have to make a curve like this. So this is the way we get more than type of OGIVE. So we will write here, this is more than type of OGIVE, which goes downwards. So this was the explanation how we can form less than type and more than type of OGIVE curves. Now let us move on to the question number 2. In this question we have to form less than type of curve, and from the graph we have to obtain median. Let us understand how to obtain the median from the graph. Here is the data of question number 2. The question is, during the medical checkup of 35 students of a class, their weights are recorded. Here we are given already the less than type of frequency distribution. This is not a regular frequency distribution. This is already given less than type, and we have to just form an OGIVE. See here, less than type, it means this is already given the upper limits. Less than 38, number of students is 0. It means in the class less than 38 kilogram weight, there is no student. So number of students is 0. Weight less than 40 kilogram, number of students 3. Weight less than 42 kilogram, 5 students. Weight less than 44 kilogram, 9 students. Less than 46 kilogram, 14 students. Less than 48 kilogram, 28 students. Less than 50 kilogram, 32 students, and less than 52 kilogram, there are 35 students. So this is the given data which is already given in the form of less than type of cumulative frequency distribution. We have to draw the OGIVE. Here we have the two-dimensional coordinate system, x-axis, y-axis. We will form the graph directly. On x-axis, I have written here upper limits as it starts from 38, less than 38, and there is a difference of 2 between the two consecutive terms. So 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50 and 52. This is on x-axis. On y-axis we have to show cumulative frequency. Here we have taken the gap 1 centimeter equals to 5 units. So 5, 10, 15, 20 up to 35. Now we have to plot the gradual numbers on the graph page. Less than 38, number of students 0. For less than 38, number of students 0. So I have made point here. Then second, less than 40, 3 students. Less than 40, there are 3 students. So I'll make it here. Then less than 42, there are 5 students. Less than 42, 5 students. Here it is. Then less than 44, number of students is 9. So 9 students for less than 44. So we'll get it here. Then for less than 46, 14 students. So it will be 14 for less than 46. So it will be here. Then for less than 48, 28 students. 28 for less than 48. So we'll get the point here. Then for less than 50, 32 students. 32 for less than 50. So we'll get here. Then for less than 52, we will get 35 students. 35 for less than 52. So these are the points which we can obtain on the coordinate system. Now we have to connect these dots through a curve. We are not to use scale to draw it. This is less than type of frequency distribution curve. Now the further question is, we have to obtain the median weight from the graph. Now this is very important to understand. How to obtain median from the graph? In case of OGIVE, to obtain the median from the graph, first of all we have to get n by 2. Here n is total number of observations is 35, total number of students. So we will obtain n by 2. N by 2 equals to 35 divided by 2, which is 17.5. As we have done in case of median sums, n by 2 term we have to obtain from cumulative frequency. Now as we have to get it from graph, in the cumulative frequency, that is on y-axis, we have to obtain the n by 2 term. It is 17.5. So on y-axis we have to obtain the number 17.5. Here we are getting 5, 10, 15, 20. 17.5 will be exactly at the middle between 15 and 20. So this is 17.5. Now we have to draw a line parallel to x-axis from this point 17.5, that is n by 2. So to draw a line parallel from point 17.5, so to draw a line from 17.5 on y-axis parallel to x-axis. This is parallel to x-axis. We will get a point here on the OGIVE curve. Now from this OGIVE, we have to draw a line parallel to y-axis or perpendicular to x-axis. So on x-axis, we are getting the point approximately here. This is approximately 46.5. So the point obtained is 17.5, 46.5. This is the approximate value. Whatever value we are getting here on x-axis, this gives us median. So remember that the x coordinate which we obtain from n/2 term through the ogive curve is the median. So here we can say that median m equals to approximately 46.5. You may get or may not get the exact value. On graph you may get approximate value, but it will be nearby the value obtained by the calculation. Now we have to verify this value through calculation. We know how to do this through calculation. To obtain the value of median through calculation, we have to use the formula of median. It is m equals to L plus into bracket n/2 minus Cf upon f multiplied by h. Here we will obtain first of all the terms. n/2 is here 17.5. We have obtained the approximate median as 46.5. It means the median is between 46 and 48. So we can say median is 46.5. Therefore median class, as it is between 46 and 48, so it will be 46 to 48. From this we can obtain L. L is the lower boundary of the median class, so it will be 46. Now we have to obtain other terms. CF. CF is the cumulative frequency. Here we have to use CF, the cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. Now the median class is 46 to 48. Preceding that means less than 46. Less than 46, the cumulative frequency is 14. So CF is here 14. Now we have to obtain F. F is the frequency of median class. Median class is 46 to 48. Here less than 48, cumulative frequency is 28, and less than 46, cumulative frequency is 14. Therefore, between 46 and 48, F will be 28 minus 14. 14. So here F is 14. The other term is H. H is the class length. Here the difference between the consecutive terms is 2. Therefore, class length is 2. So these are the terms which we will apply in the formula. To obtain the median, we will apply it. L equals to 46 plus n/2 is 17.5 minus CF we have obtained, it is 14, upon F is 14 multiplied by H is 2. Let us do the calculation. 46 plus 17.5 minus 14, it is 3.5 upon 14 multiplied by 2. This will be cancelled out. We can get 7 in the denominator. 46 plus 3.5 upon 7. So here for the further calculation, 46 plus, if we remove this point, we will get 35 upon 10 into 7 is already there. Now 35 and 7 can be cancelled. 7 5s are 35. So we get 5 by 10. So 46 plus 5 upon 10, it is 0.5. 46 plus 0.5, that will be 46.5. So this is the value of median, 46.5. As the median is about the weight of the students, so we can write m equals to 46.5 kilogram. So this is the median which we have obtained through calculation, and this was the median which we had obtained through the graph. It is same. Sometimes it happens that in the graph you cannot get the exact value of the median. It may be the approximate or nearby value. It makes no difference. Less than type of cumulative frequency distribution curve and more than type. Both individually we have seen how to draw the ogives and how to get median. Now, if we have to form both the curves on the same graph, how to do it? Next question, question number 3 in exercise 14.4 is about more than type of frequency distribution curve. But in this question, we will do both the curves on the same graph. Let us see how to form on the same graph. So here is the question number 3, exercise 14.4. The following table gives production yield per hectare of wheat of 100 farms of a village. We have to convert it into more than type of frequency distribution. Let us see the data. Yield kilogram per hectare and number of farms are given here. 50 to 55 kilogram per hectare, 2 farms. 55 to 60, 8. 60 to 65, 12. 65 to 70, 24. 70 to 75, 38. And 75 to 80, 16. We have to convert it into more than type of frequency distribution. To convert it into more than type of frequency distribution, we have to write first of all lower limits, because more than lower limits. Lower limit of class 1 is 50. Therefore, we can write more than 50, then more than 55, then further more than 60, more than 65, more than 70 and more than 75. Now the number of farms, more than 50. All the number of farms have yield more than 50. So more than 50, it will be the total of all these numbers. If you do the sum of all these numbers, you will get 100. So more than 50 kilogram yield, number of farms is 100. Then we have to keep on subtracting the number. So for more than 55, 100 minus 2, it will be 98. Then more than 60, 98 minus 8, it will be 90. Then more than 65, 90 minus 12, it is 78. Then more than 70, it will be 78 minus 24, it will be 54. Then more than 75, it is 54 minus 38, it will be 16, or directly we can write more than 75, there are 16 farms. So this is the distribution of more than type. Now here is the two-dimensional coordinate system, x-axis and y-axis. On x-axis we are taking boundaries, on y-axis we are taking cumulative frequency. As the boundaries are more than 50, 55 up to 75. So we have taken the gap of 5 each. Here the cumulative frequency is maximum 100. We have taken 1 unit equals to 5, and we have taken 5, 10, 15, 20 up to 100 on y-axis. Now we have to obtain the numbers on the graph according to the numbers we have obtained in the table. So here we have obtained the points. More than 50, it is 100. So that point is here. Then more than 55, it is 98. For more than 55, it is 98. Then more than 60, it is 90. Then more than 65, it is 78. Then more than 70, it is 54. And finally for more than 75, we are getting 16. So these are the points which we have obtained on the page. Now we will connect these dots through a curve. So this is the more than type of frequency distribution curve which we have to obtain in our question. Now we will form less than type of frequency distribution. Here for less than type we have to take upper limit. Here the upper limit for class 1 is 55. So less than 55, then less than 60, then less than 65, less than 70, less than 75 and less than 80. Less than 55 frequency is 2. As we have to take for less than terms cumulative frequency. Less than 60, we have to keep on adding these frequencies. 2 plus 8 will be 10. Then less than 65, 10 plus 12, it will be 22. Then less than 70, it will be 22 plus 24, 46. Then less than 75, it will be 46 plus 38, 84. And then less than 80, it will be 84 plus 16, that is 100. Finally we are obtaining the total number of frequency. So this is less than type of frequency distribution. Now we have to show this on the same graph page. Earlier we have obtained the graph curve on a graph page. Now on this same graph page we have to obtain less than type. Earlier we had obtained more than type. Now we will obtain less than type on the same page. So here are the points plotted on the graph. Less than 55, 2. Less than 60, 10. Less than 65, 22. Less than 70, 46. Then less than 75, it is 84, and less than 80, it is 100. We have to connect these dots and form the curve. So here is the curve which we have obtained through the less than type of frequency distribution. Now you can see here both the curves are intersecting each other. The curve which is going upwards, it is less than type OGIVE. So this is less than type OGIVE, and the curve which is going downwards, it is more than type OGIVE. Here both the curves intersect at a point. Less than type of curve and more than type of curve both intersect at a point. We will obtain this point. This point is approximately in between 50 and 55 on y-axis. So which is approximately 53 on y-axis. This will be an approximate value, and on x-axis it is approximately 71. So this intersecting point is 71 on x-axis and approximately 54 or 53, yes, it is 53 on y-axis. This is the intersection of less than and more than type of OGIVE. Now from this intersecting point we can obtain the approximate median value. Now from this intersecting point we will draw a line perpendicular to x-axis, and the point we obtained, which is 71 approximately, and this 71, or we can say the x coordinate of intersecting point, is median. So here median is 71 approximately. If you calculate this sum and find the median, you will get the value of median approximately 71. So this is how we can obtain median through both the curves. Once again, the intersecting point of less than type and more than type of curve we have to obtain, and its x coordinate is the median of this data. So this was the explanation about the graphical representation of cumulative frequency curves. Now this is the end of this episode. In the next episode we will understand one more very important formula. The next formula will be the relation between all the three measures of central tendency. That is the relation between mean, median and mode. We will see what that formula is and how we can use that formula in calculations. At the end, I would say, if you like the videos, give the like, share with your friends, subscribe the channel, and keep studying online with Lakshya Education Online.